we've known each other for a long time, and we have a ton of history, um, between us.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to hear more about how you think and feel about friendships in general. Like, what's been your life experience, and what has it been like to bond with other females in friendship?
Mm.
So I want to know, what were you taught about friendship growing up? Like the first messages that you received, what were they around
Ooh.
friendship and specifically female friendship?
Um, wow. I mean, pretty much one of those things where that is something that you value, number one. Um, when you have a good friend, you hold on to them, you keep them close, you treat them right, you know. Um, you don't treat them any kind of way. You treat pretty much them as you want to be treated yourself. And I know as we went on in life, like I said, we've known each other for years. I mean, since we were little, playing, outside, hide and seek, climbing trees, running back and forth between the house, our
Yes.
yards,
Oh gosh.
my
Oh
grandmother's yard and Trenton's yard. Remember,
yep.
we go way back, and so I just can't remember, not ever having you around. Almost, it seems like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of my early
But
memories are with you
yeah,
in that
yeah.
driveway and whatever we were doing.
Yes, yes, we'll find something to do. But yeah, I mean, it goes really far back. And I just remember growing up, as we got older, you know, we're in our 40s now, and we still are here today,
Mhm.
talking about friendship. I mean, there are people that I've gone to college with and I've lost touch with them,
Mhm.
you know, but we go way back, and I'm like, we still keep in touch. Sometimes there's a long span in between, but when we talk, we still catch up. And it's like there was never even, any type of, time span in between those conversations.
Yeah. How do you think we manage that? I mean, it's a little bit mysterious to me, I guess, because we've never really looked at it and really talked about it.
Right.
So
I don't know. Like I said, I know for me personally, like I said, I know when I have good people in my life that I want to hold on to them, whatever it takes. Like I said, sometimes the time in our lives, we're busy, work schedules, family schedules, we get away from keeping in touch. And I'm really bad about that. And I'm trying so hard to work on that and do better because I'm really bad about that. But I don't know. It's just something about knowing that, you know what? This is somebody I want to keep in my life for a very long time, forever, if I can say that.
yeah,
No.
yeah, absolutely.
So you don't want to lose that, and you do whatever you have to do to make it happen.
Hmm. So that sounds like some intentionality. Like, on purpose we keep things together.
Hmm.
On purpose
Hmm.
we stay in touch. On purpose we text or call.
Right.
On purpose we get together. And
Uh-huh.
we've done a lot of
Exactly.
that over many, many years also. Yeah. Yeah, that's I'm
That's good.
I'm learning a lot from you here in these first minutes. Um I know that, we have memories that we can't even remember not knowing each other.
Right.
But do you have a memory of like your very earliest friendship with a girl?
Earliest friendship with a girl. Well, you know what? Earliest friendship with a girl for me would definitely be cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up with Tab and Lena,
Hmm.
you know, Tab and Kim.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we spent a lot of time, especially with Kim, we spent a lot of time at grandma's house.
Hmm.
So we grew up together. Tab and Lena, same thing. We grew up. I mean, like those are my sisters.
Yeah, yeah.
So first friendship with girls, probably I would have to say was with family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And isn't that how it begins usually? You know,
Hmm.
well, if you have girl cousins, let's say
Right.
first, then you do have this, this sort of bond that happens just sort of naturally because you're always hanging out together. And we grew up in a time where there wasn't any daycare. We didn't go to daycare.
Right.
I mean, there was daycare around, but we didn't go to
Yeah,
it.
we didn't do it.
You know,
Mm-mm.
and
You
so
had family for that.
yeah, so there was always this intensity, with the cousins,
Hmm.
in the relationships that just kind of formed, there. Yeah.
Right.
So when you think about your earliest friendships, what do you think about when you think, like, if you have like a nostalgic memory of that time, what would it be?
Ooh, girl. So many.
Yeah.
Uh, you mean like a specific memory?
Yeah, just one specific memory. Something that
So
kind of still
many.
makes you smile when you think about it.
Um, I don't know. I have a lot of memories at my grandmother's house.
Hmm.
I don't know why this just popped up in my mind. Um, remember the ice cream truck?
Mm, tell me more. Our memory ain't that
We
good.
could be like, we would just be outside playing, and then all of a sudden you hear that little music in the distance, and
Yeah.
then all of us would like, it was just kind of understood. You take off
Hmm.
in your own separate directions, everybody running back to the house to go get money
Ah,
for the ice cream
yeah.
truck. And it's like, I don't know. I remember that.
Hmm.
Um, also remember so many days. Playing with Tab and Lena, we would, be going to each other's house. And so, for instance, they would come over to the house. And so we used to play these games on the computer, Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune.
I remember those. Yeah.
Yes. And pretty much that was probably the extent of our technology.
Yeah.
You know, we played that and we were content because outside of that, we had board games. I mean, we played all kind of board games, which kept our attention, but we used to play a lot on this computer game, Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. And because you could only have so many players, we did this thing, and to this day, we still talk about it, where we used one name and we combined all of our names.
Hmm.
And it was Tabalina Candy May. And, and of course, it was a combination of all our names, and we had to add May on the end because for some reason I think we needed some extra letters for it to take. So
Okay.
we said, okay, we'll just put May. So we were Tabalina Candy May, and we played that game together, and like that was our thing. And
Wow.
we did that, and then I mean, like a million board games. I mean, I could think of Trouble, Kerplink. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
We just had fun doing simple stuff,
Yes.
playing outside,
Hmm.
the simple things in life that, you probably kind of take for granted now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's funny because May is such a common name back then. Everybody's auntie or grandma had
Yes.
that form in their name. It's like, oh my gosh. Have a kid and they want to name the kid his dad or her dad's name, and so they just put that name
Yep.
and A on the end.
And May on the end. And you got a new name that you've never heard of before in your life.
That's yeah.
Gosh, that is
I'm glad
true.
we moved away from those times with names.
Yes, Jesus.
So as you grew into your late teens, your early adulthood, and we're talking about going off to college and that kind of
Mhm.
thing, what was it like to think about what you were going to study, think about what kind of support you were getting from
Mhm.
your friends as you moved into that part of your life? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't remember us talking about what we were. I don't remember saying what thought I was going to do with my college education. I don't recall that.
Yeah.
I might have. But what did you feel from your friends when you said, I'm going to go off to college and I'm going to study dentistry? This is what I'm doing.
You know what? I have to agree with you there because I can't really remember us having like, a conversation like that specifically. But dentistry was not always my number one choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Laura. Uh-huh.
So it was nursing originally.
Ooh, okay.
It was nursing, but some doors just, did not open for me in that field. Starting off, I always knew I wanted to be in healthcare. I
Mhm,
knew that because I knew I wanted to have some type of job where I felt like I was making a difference and I could
mhm,
make, help people and, make a difference in somebody's lives,
mhm,
somebody's life. But nursing was my original choice, and I was originally looking at Clemson. I was in my mind, I was going to Clemson University, and I was going to study nursing. Well, things happened. Clemson did not have any more slots open in their nursing program.
Mm.
So I said, okay, let's, got to look other places. So looked at South Carolina State. South Carolina State, still nursing. Applied, got in, got to school.
Hmm.
After the fact, they lost their accreditation for the nursing
Oh.
program.
Mm.
Yes. So
Yikes.
I said, wow, why didn't I know about this before I got here? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I am here in school, starting my freshman year, thinking in my mind I'm going to study nursing, and now another door has shut in my face. Like, what are you trying to tell me, God? Like, what is this? So in my mind, I'm like, is this not supposed to be the route that I'm supposed to take? So I got in touch with the guidance counselor, talked to him, and just kind of let him know, what my intentions were, what my goals were as far as life were. And he was awesome. Dr. Stoops, Dr. James B. Stoops. Never ever would. This is an awesome guy, awesome advisor. And if he sees this, Dr. Stoops,
Yeah,
thank
like
you.
shout out to him.
Thank you,
Mm.
because made a difference in many lives, but definitely in mine.
Mhm.
Got in touch with him and just spoke with him. And then, long story short, pretty much kind of guided me towards the field of dentistry. And I thought about it and I said, it's in the medical field. And I also knew too that I did want to have a field where I could work, I could make a difference, but I still wanted to have a life outside of that, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
And I just knew, just from probably watching TV, I don't know if that was a good example, that medical doctors, it seemed to me that they didn't have very much of a life. They're always on call.
Mm.
There's hardly ever time for family or quality time. So I'm like, I don't know if I wanted to do that. So I said, okay, we'll look into this. So I decided, you know what, we'll do dentistry. So I ended up majoring in biology.
Mhm.
And from there on, I stuck with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Did you ever call any of your friends and say, "Oh my gosh, this is what's happening with my schooling. This is what's going on. I don't know
I
what
don't
I'm
think
gonna do."
so. I don't remember if I did, but I don't think I did. I don't know.
Do you
It
know
was,
why
it was,
you may not have done that? Because this. I think I've heard parts of this story, but not
hmm
in this level of detail. You know?
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if I did or not. And if I didn't, I don't know why. Why
Mhm.
wouldn't I? Why didn't I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting.
That's a good question.
Yeah, sometimes I think about us and how we grew up and how we didn't necessarily talk about our feelings a lot. You
hmm
know, I
You're
think
right.
that happened when we got a little older, but when we were in our teen years and even the early 20s, I don't remember, dialing one of y'all up like, "Oh my God,
Right.
something's happening." I just don't remember that. And certainly I would do that today.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it may be just that. We were all just trying to find our place in the world, trying to
Right.
figure things out. Maybe talking to our parents a little bit more about it than we were talking to each other, but we were just trying to get
Yeah.
together and have fun.
Exactly. And I think that's what it was exactly, because like I said, now we definitely do it a lot more. And then you said growing up, you don't really understand, the importance of discussing your feelings
Yeah,
and talking to people, to get another viewpoint maybe. So
yeah.
I think it was just probably more so that, like, we just didn't know that, it
Mhm.
was okay to talk about your feelings or share your feelings. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, that's for sure, for sure. And so, how do you do in that department today?
Better, but still need some work. Still need some work, but yes, definitely better. Even if it's sometimes like through a text message. I know sometimes we're like, hey y'all, what do y'all think about this?
Hmm.
And that will spark a conversation,
Hmm.
but I feel like I'm doing better about, I'm trying to do better about expressing feelings, with friends, with my husband, siblings, just trying to do better about just expression, period.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I feel like it's important.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with that. And one of the things that, me and Stacey talk about a lot with this project is talking about how you feel about things when they're not comfortable.
Right.
having difficult conversations, even though they're hard to do. And then
Mm-hmm.
also talking about the stuff that makes you happy and that's good.
Right.
It doesn't always have to be something negative or some sort of, sad spot that we're dealing with. But even if we are like celebrating our girlfriend or, saying, man, you look fantastic with that haircut, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
anything on that spectrum, we want to celebrate and we want to, bring that to light. Um, so as you were talking, I was thinking about you specifically and wondering, do you have someone that you would count as your closest friend?
Whew, my closest. Out of our group or just period or let me see.
Just period.
You know what? Closest friend. Families included.
Yeah. If one of your friends is your family, absolutely.
Because you know what? I would have to say I feel close to everyone in our group.
Hmm.
But as far as like if I were to like maybe the first person that I might reach out to, like if I have a dilemma or
Yeah.
something, I would have to say Carmen.
Hmm.
I reach we
And it's your sister. Yeah.
yeah, yes, Carmen is my sister. Reach out to her a lot. Now, things have changed recently because Carmen is away in school right now. So a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to bother her with this because she's busy. She's in a PhD program, which I know is a very rigorous program. I understand what it is to be in a doctorate program.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. And I don't want to, involve her in stuff where she's worried and stressed out about something back at home that
Mm.
she absolutely has no control over,
Yeah.
and it's
Hmm.
just going to stress her out. So a lot of times I was like, okay, I won't bother her with this right now, maybe later. But usually she's that first
Hmm.
go to that I will call
Okay.
if I'm having, if something's on my mind.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting to me because I don't have sisters.
Hmm.
Well, I don't have sisters that my mother did.
Right. Bloods. Right.
Um, so, but I know that that sister relationship is very powerful, and so
Hmm.
this makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So she gets your secrets. She gets to hear your secrets and gets to hear, some of the things that are really nagging at you if you need like some place
Yeah.
to land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then sometimes, like I said, I'm trying to get better about it, but sometimes, I still find myself holding things in,
Mm-hmm.
just because I feel like, I need to work this out. I need to figure this out for myself. I don't need to bother somebody else with that,
Mm-hmm.
got to do better about that. I know. Because like I said, again, it's not good to hold feelings in, because that's stress and it's not good. And, we need to learn and understand it's okay to lean on each other,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
but it's a work in progress.
listening to something, I think a podcast, and there was this whole dialogue about um it being okay to need your friends, being
Hmm.
okay for you to lean on them and not always have to be the strong black woman.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, we could probably talk for days and probably things can be written about that for hundreds of years about
Hmm.
what we put on ourselves. And I think what society has conditioned us to say and do as Black women.
Right.
So,
That's true.
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
So, we have a pretty active group, our group. I call it our home group. I'm not sure why I just gave it that name. And we've done a lot to keep in touch and we've really been very steady with that. What do you value most about our group and our dynamic?
Wow. I mean everything. One thing, there's like you said that we have the dynamics within the group are crazy. um, we've all gone out, we've gone away from home. gotten an education, and we still come back all these years later and we pick up where we left off. And like I said before, I know with you guys, I have a true friend.
Mm.
I have true friends. I know that you guys are people that I can go to. I can talk to you about something. I know that I'm not going to have to worry about hearing about it on Facebook or hearing, hearing about it, in the streets. I don't have to worry about that. I know that if I come to you all, it's going to stay right there where we left it or where we discussed it. And it's going to always stay between us unless, I decide like, okay, yeah, it's okay to share.
Mm-hmm.
But um, it's just something about having people who at the end of the day, if need be, will have your back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, Understand the struggles that you've been through, that you may currently be going through. People who are just genuine good people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I really love that about y'all. And that's why, I mean, I talk about y'all all the time. I brag about y'all. I brag about our friendships. And it's just like I said, it's crazy. We've all been together since you and I since kids,
Yeah.
before school.
Yeah.
And then in grade school with everyone else, we met Jamie in sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
And everything just continued to grow, and we have held on to those friendships for all these years. Like I said, I've got people that I have been friends with in college. I don't even know where some of them are right now. I have no clue, and it's not done on purpose. It's just we lost touch. But I know where you guys are. I know what y'all doing. And it's just like, wow,
Yeah.
like, how did we do this? But I know that I've got true, genuine friendships when it comes to you guys, you, Mo, Lena, Roz, Jamie. I know that I've got something there that I do not want to lose and I do not want to let go of.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
think
know
you've
that.
done, an amazing job of it, even though we didn't even know how we've gotten here exactly.
Yeah.
You
It's
know.
almost kind of like, I don't know, like we put forth the effort, but we didn't, you know?
Right. It was kind of organic, but then we also put a little bit in there.
Yeah.
Going. Yeah. So yeah, I don't even know what else to say about that. Every time I
Wow.
hear you guys talk about our relationship, I always get a little bit emotional, just because
Mm.
it has had such an impact on my life. It's been very
Uh-huh.
powerful for me. I don't know whether we've really ever talked about the ways in which it's been powerful for me. And I don't know if I want to get into that today.
No, you should. You should. I want to know.
Well, I think I've said this, and I'm not sure if I've said it to you guys specifically, but you, sixth grade especially, that particular time when we all sort of came together and formed, like,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know Marlena before sixth grade. I didn't know Jamie
Mm-hmm.
before sixth grade. Neither did you. I only knew
Mm-mm.
you and Monique and Rosalind.
Wow. Yep.
Um, and I remember hearing about college on the playground. I just remember that it was always a topic. 11-year-olds talking about it, you know,
Wow.
you know, and I always say, you guys are the reason that I went to college. That's where I
What?
heard everything that there was to hear about how good it was to be in college, how exciting it might have been to go there, even though we weren't in there, but
Right.
there was a set of parents that were college educated, and then we had a set that weren't,
Mm-hmm.
but we would hear sort of both sides of the whole thing,
Yes, we did.
so that's a
Wow.
major contribution to my life. I don't know if I would have heard much about it if I had not been surrounded by you guys,
Wow.
to listen to that, and either ignore some of it or try to find out if I had a question or whatever. I have no idea what I was doing, but or how I was absorbing it, but I know it definitely was absorbed,
Mm-hmm.
and so I always give you guys credit for the fact that I actually went to college.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know if I
Wow.
would have gone if I had not been in this friend group.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Oh
what I
my
would have been
gosh.
doing, I have no idea. But that, yeah, that was a major a major event in my life to
Wow.
sort of have you guys there, and I'm like, oh well, this seems interesting. Maybe I'll do that with them. I don't want to not go when they're all going. And that was really what my thinking was
That is
back then. Like,
funny.
I don't want to be left behind.
Right.
I
Oh
want
my
to go
goodness. I
where
did
they're
not know
going.
that.
Yeah. So that's just a small part of the impact that you guys have had on my journey through
Oh.
life. Um, so let's talk a little bit about these teeth.
Ah.
I know that
What
you
you want to know?
enjoy the small humans when it comes to
I
treating.
do.
So tell us a little bit about your dentistry business. Tell us the name of it. Tell us where you are, and just tell us a little bit about how much you enjoy that work.
Yeah. Very much, very much. I can say I'm glad I chose that field. Like I said, Dr. Stoops, you steered me that way. Thank you. um, the dental field is it, it's a great field. I'm so happy that I chose that field. Not very many people in life can say that they chose a field that they are genuinely happy with,
Yeah.
you know. But I do enjoy my job. I'm not gonna lie, it is stressful.
Mhm.
It's very stressful. But the enjoyment helps to deal with that stress.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
makes a difference because if I didn't enjoy it, I don't know how I would get through it. Um, but I am a general dentist, and pretty much that just means that you pretty much can do everything, all aspects of dentistry. Um, there are some people who specialize, so you can specialize whether it's an oral surgeon or a pediatric dentist, or you can specialize in implants. It just depends on what you choose. You can be a periodontist,
Mhm.
um, or like I said, as a general dentist, you can do a little bit of everything. So with me, I'm a general dentist, but my passion is, of course, with children.
Mhm.
So I'm not a pediatric dentist. I did not go back to school after dental school to specialize in pediatric dentistry, but I chose that's the
The
aspect that I
population.
chose to
Mhm.
focus on.
Mhm.
I do still see adults, but so right now we have a practice in Atlanta, Georgia, and that practice is 2032 family dentistry.
Mhm.
So it's 20/32 family
Mhm.
dentistry. And we came up with that. Well, first, do you know why we came up with that name?
I heard about it in a conversation that we had, so I do know, because the only reason why I know is because you and somebody else in the group chat were talking, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what that means. So
Well,
22
yes.
for the little people, 32 for the adults.
Exactly, exactly. So pretty much we're letting everybody know we are a family practice. We see everybody from 0 to 99.
Mm-hmm.
So 2032 Family Dentistry is located in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are on Peyton Road. Peyton Road, Peyton is off of MLK.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I said, small startup practice, we're in the middle of a pandemic right now, and we were affected by it a little bit. Pretty much the main thing that kept us alive and going during the pandemic was we were able to see emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we could not steer emergencies away. If someone was having an emergency dental issue, we had to tend to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what kept us going through the pandemic. Right now things are starting to pick up, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the process of trying to add more days to the week now so that so I can be in there more often because, during the pandemic, I was home. I was working from home and going into the office, maybe one day a week, two, just depends. But usually it was just one day a week. And I was at home with the kids for the rest of the week and
Mm-hmm.
just working from home that way. Um, Now we're in the process of, everybody going back to school. We pretty much had, well, so I don't know if you know my husband, Thaddeus Harvey Jr., also a general dentist. Like I said, we both practice in within this practice. And like I said, we see everyone. So whatever your dental need is,
Mm-hmm.
between the two of us, we can take care of it. And if we feel like, hey, this may not be something that we can focus on, or maybe, something that's outside of our skill, we will refer it out. But
Okay.
for the most part, between the two of us, we see all children and adults. And there are some times where, like I say, yes, we may have to refer something out to specialty. So that's not a problem.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. For those of you in
Yes.
the Atlanta area, please, please, please visit
Yes.
that website. You have a website, correct?
We do. We
And
do.
you have some social media. You have a Facebook. You have an
We do. We have
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, 2032 Family Dentistry. Look us up.
Okay. Yep.
Feel
And I'll make
free.
sure to include that in the description, in the notes, once we post this up for everyone to see, so they'll know exactly where to
Awesome.
go
Thank you.
to look to see what your website has, and if you're in the area and close enough, please go
Yep.
in there and give them a visit for your dental needs. Well,
Thanks.
thank you for that. I appreciate all of this today. It's really a good chat, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. You know, you'll be
Yeah.
here with me out, and I'm very excited about that. Very excited, and
I am
also
too.
very proud of what you guys are doing down there in Atlanta.
Oh,
Everybody's doing such wonderful things, and you know, it seems like we all have hit a need, you know, that's really powerful in the
yes.
community.
You're
So
absolutely right.
yeah,
Thank you.
you're
You too,
welcome.
girl, because you're doing your thing.
I'm trying. I'm working on some things. I'm trying to do. I'm always doing something, but you know that about
Mhm.
me. Always busybody.
But you're doing it and you're doing it well. So
Well,
you
thank
keep it
you.
up.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to share with Friendship Examine today?
No, well, first, like I appreciate the opportunity. I'm glad that you asked me to do this. I mean, I think it's because it kind of gave me the opportunity to kind of look deeper into our friendship, when it's like, never really done this before. So I appreciate you asking me to do this. I enjoyed it. I
I
really
did too, and thank you. I appreciate you coming on. So I
did.
will see you later.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll talk soon.